Bitch, I'm from Baltimore, you see he was, I never see you. What bought you on? I got money on the Alameda. I know my city has a pretty and I bet they know.
We gonna get copyrighted. It's fine. We gonna get
That's only play a few seconds of it. Look.
Right.
enough.
Right.
That's enough. That's enough. You know
Little
the vibe.
squid,
You recognize the vibe. Recognize the vibe. You know what it is.
You know what it is.
It's Ravens.
We got a point across.
It's Ravens Sunday. Winning Sunday. Shout out to the boys.
I love it.
See, I only root for
MV3.
Ravens because of y'all. I root for Ravens because of y'all, but you know I always gotta stay with the home team. You know.
Oh,
You know.
Okay.
Off my belt downstairs. But I have the Ravens one. So Title Tuesday, shout out to King Cola. Y'all gonna see Gabby Ravens out. Looking like somebody mama because I have the whole fit on.
Wait till I come visit. Wait till I come visit. We gotta do something.
Oh, yeah.
A little face off.
We got to. It'll be lit.
Why are we there? My bad. We had a whole.
Oh yeah. Welcome to. Believe it or not, this is not just the Baltimore show. This is Lip Gloss and Ladders. I am your host for today, Genius Ree, hailing straight from Baltimore. You know the AFC North champions 2 years in a row. First I would like
multiple times. Shout out to Matt from Black Wrestling.
I would like to extend my condolences at this time for Matt. I appreciate it. And for my Nana. Sorry, Nana. Love you.
Yeah.
But I was like, you living? She's like, well, I wasn't a Ravens fan. I was a Steelers fan before I moved here. But you've been here your whole life now. At this point,
decisions were made.
I was like, decisions were made.
Choices were made.
But it was my great granddad's team. So we'll let it slide. We still love Nana, except on game days. That's when she
Game is over for about a 2-hour block.
Yeah,
I love you.
She literally said, you know what, you're not my granddaughter right there. I was like, oh. She still loves me.
It gets serious.
Nana said, I don't play about you, but when it comes to the games, I don't know you.
Listen, hey.
Just like that.
I was like, wow, where would you like your nursing home to be? She said Pittsburgh. I said, oh, so she stands on business.
Stands on business. I love it.
She stands on business. All right, guys, I'm sorry. Again, we're not the Baltimore show. We are Lip Gloss and Ladders. I am Genius Ree here. I am joined by my lovely, beautiful co-host, KB. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'll let y'all have y'all Baltimore moment, but you know I still gotta go for my Lions. Because they are champions as well.
Y'all in the Super Bowl, and then we can have a whole
yes.
That's what I honestly wanted that last year, Ravens versus the Lions. So let's get this year.
Okay.
Our agenda. That's my new agenda. You know, I put the other one on the bad part for now. And we normally have Charm City Gabby on the show, but today we have insufferable.
I'm gonna be insufferable for like the next week, y'all. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. If you follow me on any social media, like, just know that like you're gonna get tired of me, and that's okay, right? Just mute me. Don't follow me. Just mute me for a little bit, and then like come back later. But like, I'm just giving y'all know in advance. I'm gonna be hell of annoying all week, and as I should be, honestly.
You're right.
Represent.
Okay.
And I'm gonna retweet all the annoying. So mute me too.
And I'm a support. Like,
right. Liking the stories.
This means, but like it. And we have Miss Ash Vindy here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm not as big as a football fan as y'all. Y'all's bringing me in. Y'all bringing me in. I feel like every week now I'm getting more information. I'm like, okay. I feel like soon I'll start watching.
I've been trying to get into football for the past couple years, but like I just never got it. But then seeing y'all, I'm like, okay, let me get into a little more so I can talk to somebody.
I just got here. I'm now a sports girly. So what happens is I know enough about football to enjoy it when I watch it. So I know what's going on. So I get excited. Okay. I know the Ravens, and everything else I learn about other players and other teams is by osmosis. I learn
Got you,
other player
got you,
stats when they
got
play the
you.
Ravens.
Okay.
That's how
I support y'all,
my-
so
Yeah.
I'll be Ravens. I'll be Ravens this season.
Yeah.
Well, Super Bowl
Super Bowl.
is Lions.
Got you, guys.
No, she picked the right team for the Super Bowl. Like, relax,
the Ravens.
baby, a little bit.
You know, I would love to play the Lions and beat them in a Super Bowl. I would love that. That would be
Ideal.
ideal. True test of
When
friendship.
we win, though, it's okay. It's okay because we're going to win.
It's a true test of
I feel like
friendship.
For real though.
But if y'all see the iOS press release saying the ladies of Lip Gloss and Ladders regrets it. Thank you guys for joining us on
No,
this
this
journey.
might be on we might be on our victory run. We very well might break up sometime in February. It's been fun, you know. So just cherish the time that you have with us while we're here.
Somebody gonna post a mental break post like who's on a mental break.
Yeah.
We are now on
Respect my privacy at this time, please. Respect my privacy at this time.
black circle on them.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Blackout profile.
Look,
All posts deleted. Archive all the posts.
Like, oh man.
Going through it over here. We are going through it. Okay. Hopefully that is not the case. And KB is the one who has to go on a mental break. You know, hopefully it's better now.
I hope you guys KB.
I'm done.
I just be a sore loser and still just trash talk and forget it.
Facts. Win, lose, draw. I'm gonna talk my
Same.
talk, so it's fine. I understand.
I'm like the ref did it. It was the refs.
I can't believe them.
Oh yeah.
I live.
Again, I'm going to say this one last point about football, and then we're going to get back to our wrestling show. I promise, guys. I don't care who is there as long as Casey is not. That's all I know.
Facts.
Facts.
I will be rooting it.
Yeah.
That is valid.
And there's a reason I don't
Same.
like them haterish. Yes. I can admit that. So don't get in the comments saying, oh, you're just being a hater because yes, I am.
We just need fresh blood. We just need fresh blood.
We really do.
Like it's been the same thing.
I mean,
San Fran as well.
I'm
a Super Bowl as well.
I'm a combination of hater and I'm a combination of like, I just don't like y'all. And like, I don't have a real reason why. Travis Kelce turned into a freaking cop overnight. Like, I just don't understand what happened. Mahomes, his wife is just the freaking worst.
Like, be for real.
Like, I'm not about to go into that because y'all really gonna like my comments, but like, just
like
know
a
that
character
like,
from Mr.
Exactly.
He looks like a claymation.
Kermit the Frog gotta chill. Kermit the Frog gotta chill, man.
How did
he
he really sound like that until somebody told me?
Then you hear
I
it. Now
don't
you
know.
can't unhear it, right? Now you can't
Yeah,
even unhear it.
it's
I was
something
just
about
there.
his like, you know, this, that, because he don't look mixed. I think I said this before. He doesn't look mixed. He looks merged. So I can't really like
Merged?
Them kids is not mixed. They not merged or mixed.
Baby,
Them kids came out one way. Them kids come out one way.
Yeah.
They was not like us, and they're not like us.
He was supposed to play for the Tigers,
That's
but he decided to go to the football route.
dang.
lucky us, I guess.
Way we're haters, and we're gonna move on because they don't need any more of our time.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. All right. So today we do have a fun show for you guys, a fun wrestling show this time, I promise. Today we are getting into kind of like an intro to wrestling. We got a bunch of comments, and by bunch I mean one, where someone said, "Hey, I'm a new fan, and I want to really get back into wrestling. And what should I watch? Like, what feud should I watch?" And that gave us an idea. I do a whole show on it. So this is the intro to wrestling, the women's edition. So all four of us are going to pick a women's feud that we think that you guys should go back and watch. Or if you're a new fan starting out, it's a women's feud that I think that you would enjoy. We all think that you would enjoy. So starting off our countdown, well, not really a countdown, but starting off our list here, KB, who have you picked?
Now I took it back to the Attitude Era, and
Of course.
of course, right? And I picked Jackie versus Sable. Now, the reason why I picked Jackie versus Sable is not because they put 5-star matches or they were really even. Well, it was mostly Jackie wrestling at the time. Sable did not want to take bumps, so she didn't take bumps really. But it's just the fact that I'm sorry if y'all hear Biggie snoring, but but it's just the fact that around that time that feud is what brought back the women's Attitude Era title. So before then, it was just like women were ballets and just eye candy. But when Jackie came in, who was a trained wrestler, she had to feud with Sable. And the goal, I believe the goal was to put Sable over because Sable was really popping. But if you actually go back and watch, Jackie had pops as well. Now, the storyline, it was over a man. You know how I feel about those. But I feel like you had to start somewhere to get where we at now. So that is why that's why I'm
I mean, you need to know your history too. And I think that's a great place for you to start, right? Knowing the history of women's wrestling and starting back to the Attitude Era. Obviously, you can go back further if you certainly so choose to. But for the sake of this conversation and our age demographic, let's go back a little bit further, but like not far enough. We're talking about like we're not going that far. So I can appreciate that for sure. And Big is snoring like he has a job.
Like he has 3.
No, he's
so
it's snoring.
Fine. If he is like
good.
Like I think he played last night in the game. Like I just need to know how he feels.
Run like Derrick Henry.
Right. He was at the game. He scored 2 touchdowns. Okay.
Let me find out how big is the Baltimore Ravens.
He was putting in that work.
He definitely was. Big lit. But I definitely, I think that is a great feud, especially to start with, because we know that Black women weren't really prevalent, and to give a Black woman that shine in that spotlight against a woman like Sable, who is arguably one of the biggest WWE divas to date. Again, didn't put on 5-star matches, but you know who Sable is. Her sex appeal, the matches, the storylines themselves, and just her popularity at that time. To give that spot to a woman like Jackie, who is a trained wrestler, who did grow up in the ECW system. She came up in the ECW system as well. And kind of she had that respect of those veteran competitors. To see that they did ultimately bring back that belt. Again, KV, thank you for this, because I wasn't watching WWE at that time. So all I know from this feud is all your research, and I was like, oh, this is actually, I know they was doing it like this over here. But like you said, just because they put in 5-star matches didn't mean that the feud wasn't important, and it definitely was a catalyst for wrestling we didn't know.
And Jackie actually won the title first. I think it was just to keep people invested, and then eventually Sable won it from Jackie. So, and I think Jackie was not the only. It was Jazz too. Only Black woman who had the belt.
Yep, Jazz. She wanted. That was a triple threat. Was it Trish? Who else was it? Lita? Was it Lita?
I think if you talk about WrestleMania, she was the first Black woman to walk in and walk out as champion.
So again, while it is an older feud, it's definitely a very important feud that honestly everyone should know, especially if you're a Black woman wrestling fan. You need to know who Jacqueline is.
Definitely. It brought eyes to women's wrestling for sure. Jackie and Sable.
Yep. And she is a absolute doll. We have to meet her at Wrestlecade. She's an absolute doll. I left my picture at her table, and she came and got me. So we think.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
Did you lead everything at WrestleCade?
Yes.
Did you lead everything at WrestleCade?
Yeah.
Yes, she did. Okay.
I got so
too much fun.
so excited. I was so excited. Like when I left that tape, me and Mankind, I was like, he knows my name. He said my name twice. Did you see it? Like I'm over here. Like, did y'all see this? I was so excited. I did not realize that I almost bumped into Lita.
Wow, you having too much fun.
Yeah, Lita was right. Lita was next to Mankind.
I was like, wait a minute. So yeah, I did. But I found it. I got it. I got it back.
Love that. All that matters.
Yeah, Jackie was very, very sweet, and she deserved all the flowers. I'm so happy she has a Legends contract now, because they need to put her back on the games. She was on the
Yep.
game when she became Hall of
Yes.
Famer, and then that was it. But she is getting the flowers that she supposed to have been had. She's one of the pioneers to me. And her birthday just passed as well. So happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday, Miss Jackie.
Speaking of pioneers of wrestling, we're going to take a quick second to acknowledge that apparently Miss Melinda is missing in the LA storms and the LA fires. Hopefully, by the time you all hear this tomorrow, they have found her and she is okay. But we are definitely sending our love and prayers to those that are in LA and those that are affected by the fires in LA and the outside area.
100%.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Speaking of, like you said, pioneers of the Divas division, one of the greatest divas to ever step foot in that ring, women's wrestlers, period, to ever step foot in that ring. So we are praying for the safe return of Melina. Hopefully everything is good and she's safe. I know I think she has animals as well. Her and her animals are safe and with family, and she can get out. Because the wildfires are insane and absolutely scary. It's like looking at the end of days, and we know that this is a tragedy, and our prayers go for them for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, are there any more feuds of Jackie's or any matches that you think they should go back and look at involving Jackie and Sable?
I know some of those matches were actual matches. There was a match, King of the Ring. I believe it was King of the Ring where it was Sable and Edge. This Edge was fairly new, and he was a surprise partner of Sable's, and it was versus Mark Merrill and Jackie. So Sable did a couple moves. I watched. I was like, oh, because remember she did not
Want to take one? Yeah.
want to say bumps. But I think Edge had like put her in the air and dropped her on Mark Merrill. So I like stuff like that. But another one, I believe. I'm trying to remember, did Jackie went on Raw? I think she went on Raw. But it will be a playlist of matches and a list of matches that you should look up. But Jackie won the belt first, and eventually Sable got the title from Jackie. And then that's when that feud kind of ended.
And it's so weird to look back at it now because I remember being like, why there's no one that looked like me? And I'm like, wait, Jacqueline, she's been here. Like, hey, let's see. Without her, we probably wouldn't have a Naomi. And Naomi has also admitted that as
A
well.
lot of wrestlers.
Yeah.
A lot of wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will admit, I didn't appreciate, because Jackie was the heel, so I didn't appreciate her as much as I do now. They really made it to where you had to be a Sable fan. And like I learned so much. It's just like now that I went back and looked at everything and learned so much, it's definitely Jackie did that to make Sable look really good. So she deserves those flowers, like I said earlier. For sure.
Oh, I have a quick question. Do you think if this feud was to happen today, who's bet people would be on Sable's side or they'd be more on Jackie's side?
That's a good question.
Depending on their skills, because I feel like they'll be going for Jackie more than Sable. Because it's like
I was gonna say, I think Jackie these
perspective.
days.
Yeah. They are, like I said, you had to start somewhere to get where we at now. And if you just like not even trying to wrestle, they're gonna be like, why are you here? Why are you here?
I have a theory that Sable would have had go away heat if she debuted like now. She'd have go
because she wouldn't take bumps. So I don't see. Yeah, I don't think she would actually like wrestle for real. And we've like come past like the whole like pretty girl I'm here thing. We've gone way past that. So like you need to be able to get in the ring. You need to be able to take this razor's edge off the top rope into a ladder into it. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
Exactly.
Right. They are definitely held to a much higher standard. Well, they've always had that standard, but they're definitely held to a higher standard now. It's like, no. I need you to at least be able to do not even a moonsault, like a frog splash. Come on now. Get up there.
We're not doing our arm wrestling matches. We're not doing a bikini contest. That was part of their feud as well. We are doing at least a simple basic match. If any.
Right. 100% agree. So I think that is a good feud to look at. I definitely have looked at some. And again, look out for that playlist. It will be linked. Now, Ash, who have you selected for your feud?
So for my feud, I feel like this is
I think we lost Ash.
I think she froze.
Yeah, she did freeze.
She froze at an awkward spot, like very smooth though. I
Like-
think we should take a look at
this is a great
pause.
pick.
Oh wait,
Wait.
can you hear Ash? Nope.
She moved for a second.
Said a great feud, and then in here.
Oh, I think we lost her.
What is this?
I can hear
I
you.
hear, I hear her laughing.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
You're moving.
You're back.
You're moving now.
You're back,
You're back?
kind of.
Okay. Hold on. I don't understand. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Hate when that happens. Okay.
You're good.
You're good now.
You're
All
back.
right.
Got it.
So the feud that I chose to pick that I feel like is
Oh no.
perfect
Frozen
for wrestler.
You froze again, baby.
Am I freezing?
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah,
my
how about you
God.
come
Hold
back?
on.
Let's go out and come back. And in the meantime, one of us will go and you can join in.
Okay, got you.
Right.
I'll be back.
Some of the intro.
Come back.
So Gabby, who did you pick as your feud?
So, I mean, if you know me, you know what feud I picked. Y'all know I have to pick Sasha versus Charlotte. Like I have to, right?
Queen.
That is my feud that I think everyone should know. Like I love the Four Horsewomen in general. I think they did a lot of good work. In general NXT. But if you just have to go back to a feud, I think that like it's just perfect. I have to go with Charlotte and Sasha, and I have these lovely dolls. Thank you. Shout out to KB for Christmas.
You're welcome.
Of my girls. I just think it's fun, and it's funny that everyone talks about like their Hell in a Cell match, and like don't get me wrong, that is a great match. Like I love that match for obvious reasons. However, my favorite match of theirs is when they were at Raw, and when Sasha put that bank statement on Charlotte, and when they're out in the crowd, like they were through the crowd, like they were
Love
working that match. Like that match does not get the attention that it truly deserves. So like whenever you talk about feud, to me, I'm always going to talk to you about Sasha and Charlotte. Always. I wish that we have appreciated it now, knowing that Sasha has gone on. I think she'll come back eventually. Maybe we'll see. And we can kind of resume that feud. But again, like the two of them were just iron sharpens iron, and the two of them brought out the best in each other in their feud. You can't deny it. I mean, if you go back to like old school Charlotte, when she wasn't even Charlotte Flair, she
Brown
couldn't
hair?
woo. She couldn't do any of the things that we know her now for, because they're stripping you back. You are not a Flair. That's not your dad. He only came out to that one match that she had when she won the championship. Like just old school working. Just like you are stripped of everything. You are a regular human being. You are not a Flair. And Sasha working from, I think she was only in like one other indie before she came over to WWE.
Chaotic.
Yeah.
Like those girls worked and showed that they could go. And like that is everyone knows I feel Mercedes Moné, so we're not even gonna go into that. But I just think that in order for a great wrestler to be a great wrestler, you need a great heel needs a great face all day, every day. And they elevated each other. They elevated women's wrestling. It wasn't just their plain match. Like they brought a lot of attention, a lot of eyes. For various reasons. So like their feuds, again, like I know everyone loves the Hell in a Cell match, but baby, that Raw match and that bank statement, that match.
Yeah, it's funny.
Charlotte has good feuds. Yep. Charlotte has good feuds in general. I mean, you could look at her and Rhea. I mean, and I think that's too important to point out with Charlotte. Her ego is rarely in the way. Absolutely. When she lost to Rhea at Mania, I don't know if they showed it on TV, but she was literally standing outside the ring, like smiling and trying to hold it back, and she was crying, and she was so happy for Rhea. And like you don't see that anymore. People are like, man, like they hold a chip on their shoulder, like, man, I have to drop the strap to this newbie, blah blah blah. Like you can't top Charlotte and Sasha to me.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny that bank statement through the what is it, the bar,
Railing.
Count
The
anywhere.
railing.
Mhm.
That is one of my
Mhm.
favorite moments in professional wrestling history. I have been a fan for
That
a,
tap.
a long amount of years. And that is literally one of top 10
Mhm.
moments for me as a wrestling fan, period. That scene and then
Mhm.
Sasha win it like that. Because, okay, I definitely have a newfound respect and love for Charlotte since being your since being your friend, Abby, honestly. And now I'm like, wait, come back. I'm
You're
like,
welcome.
I
You're
used to be
welcome.
so annoyed when she came back. I'd be like, oh, here
Mhm.
she go. They about to just put the title on Charlotte. Here she
But
go.
then she's been gone for over a year now. You're like,
I'm like,
damn.
put the
Everything
title
kind of
on
made
Charlotte.
sense, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's why. Oh, cool. Because literally to go from there are a few wrestlers that surpass the second generation that surpassed their parents, and she's one of them.
Mhm.
As far as skill, charisma, I believe. Well, let's be real. Ric Flair is better on the mic, but it's Ric Flair, and he's mostly. Never mind. Anyway,
Cool. Let's talk that because Ric Flair. Say what you want about Ric Flair. Ric Flair's not gonna give you a 5-star match.
no.
That never was going to be a thing. However, Ric Flair is old school wrestler. He can give you 60 minutes in his prime. Not right now. Don't do that to Ric Flair right now. But in his prime, if you look at true wrestling skills and old school wrestling, a wrestler who could go for 20, 25 minutes on the fly,
Right.
I have to give Rick credit for that. Like if you look at his old work, like WCW Rick.
No, 100%. And to not be bored, not even like a lot of his newer stuff in WWE, which is crazy to think now because he still is wrestling. Right. He's still wrestling. But like even his like evolution stuff, of course, the match with Michael's like, you're like, he knows one thing about Ric Flair, he'll tell you a story.
Oh yeah. About himself.
100%. 100%.
Yes. He definitely will tell you a story. He definitely has the charisma because they were entertainers. And for me though, I definitely think that Charlotte was like, I know I'm a Flair, but I'm standing on my own. And if you strip Charlotte of the Flair name, she's still
the GOAT.
She's one of the, let's be real, she's going to probably go down as the best women's wrestler of all time. She's going to get to 17. She's going to get to 17.
Oh, yeah, she's going to surpass. She's going to go further. Absolutely. She's going to go further.
She has to.
When she comes back, Charlotte, where are you?
Charlotte. Andrade, call your wife, please.
Call her.
A diamond in the sky.
Por favor, call your wife, please.
The Rumble. I'm hoping to see November 30th at the Rumble.
Oh my gosh.
I do hope to see her. And what I was about to say was that feud is the feud I actually watched when I started back watching wrestling with Charlotte and Sasha. And when Sasha won the belt, not the time when they was in the audience, but it was like the first time she won a belt. That's when I seen it on the Snapchat and I said, okay, who is this? And that's when I tuned in. But I also was not a Charlotte fan at first. But then like as I got to learn more and more about her, I was like, she's very humble. She's not taking this name Flair very lightly. She's like, I may be a Flair, but I'm an individual and I'm working for what I get. And
she didn't wrestle.
Yeah, she didn't. She's doing it for her brother.
She's doing it for Reed. She did not want to wrestle. She was a trained gymnast. She went to college. She had a plan, and her plan was wrestling. But when her brother unfortunately passed away, she was like, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do now."
Yeah.
And also, the nerve of her to just be that damn good, and this is your like plan C. That's annoying. Like,
it's in her blood.
You just gonna be the best, and then you was like,
this. I'm not
sure.
But what?
Then, like you mentioned too, like a lot of second generation wrestlers, it's a lot of pressure on them, right? Because like you want to be like your parent, and like they don't make it. A handful make it out. And it's no shade to like people like Lexis King and like all other people that are like trying their hardest to like step outside that shadow. It's hard. Look at our Anderson son. He can't do it. And it's not for lack of trying, and it's not for lack of talent. You just have to be that much better than your parent to do it. Look at Braun Breaker right now. He is
Yeah.
the best combination of his daddy and his uncle. He is like the genetic freak. He literally is a genetic freak. Like,
Really, yeah.
I've always been
it's
really
so
high on.
hard to step outside of that circle.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
So
always been
hard.
super high on him for sure. Because
Mm-hmm.
one, not only did he come from a football background, even football players, a lot of people wrestlers come from football
He
backgrounds.
played for the Ravens. Anyway,
Did
It
he?
all comes back.
Mhm.
It all comes back.
Fun fact. Okay.
Yep, he did. He played for Ravens when he came over. That's why I was honestly, that's why I rooted for him at first. I did not like, it was like, okay, you're one of the Steiners. Like, I love the Steiners, don't get me wrong, but like I was like, we know about your daddy. But so I was like,
A mess child.
but seeing him, I'm like, the speed that he has is unheard of. Like, I've never seen him and Mojo Rawley. That's such an underrated thing to have that much speed. This is not, the ring is not, you're running back and forth and then you're going out and then you're running really fast. Like, you're not small.
diving and
Yeah.
they're not small boys. They're football players. They're not small men. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And I know a lot of football players have said this is still the hardest thing that they've ever had to do, but it's like eons above it. Like, he's only been doing this, I think, a total of 5 years, maybe 6,
Mhm.
a total. That's from
Mhm.
start to finish, and he has the ability that some people who've been in this industry for 20 years doesn't have.
Can't do it. Mm-hmm.
Saying Randy Orton, the best hips in the business, I surpasses that as far as like, and grandpa as
Mhm.
far as that is concerned. Like you said, it's
Mhm.
really hard. And
It
Charlotte,
doesn't happen every day. It doesn't happen every day. So when it happens, you gotta appreciate it. So like, I understand people not wanting liking Charlotte because she is Charlotte, right? But then like, if you just look at her work rate and you look at the things she can do and like just in general, like, you can't to not give credit to Charlotte, like, you're a hater.
Yeah.
honestly, I was a hater. I was like,
I was too.
Not give credit to Sasha, you're a hater.
And I realized I missed Charlotte when she came and took the belt from Ronda. I was like, yeah, we needed this because this was not it.
Right.
And that belt was dirty.
That's when I knew. Yeah, when she used that Charlotte in the Bank that night, that's when I was like, yeah, I need to put some respect on Miss Flair's name, because when she came, the energy that not only in the arena but in the room, in this very room, I was like, finally, a worker holding the belt. No shade to Ronda.
I was like, I'll never doubt you
All
again.
shade to
We're
Ronda.
free.
All
We're
shade to
free.
Ronda.
We're free. We're free. That's literally how.
I was so
Mhm.
happy when she got that belt. I didn't realize I missed her until then. But I also love that she wanted to drop the belt to Bianca Belair. So I'm just waiting on that rival. That's one rival I'm waiting on.
It's the last horsewoman.
Last horsewoman, yes, absolutely.
That's gonna be amazing. But yeah, like Charlotte Flair, just
Yeah.
we miss you, girl. Come back, please.
I love that it's not
Sasha.
about her.
Shoot, I miss Sasha too, girl. We
I
ain't
miss
gonna make
Sasha.
no time soon, but I miss Sasha.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little wait. It's gonna be a little wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big wait.
Yeah.
The way she talking.
And what she's doing.
That's one of
Yeah,
those things. Yeah, with Sasha, it's like I want to be happy for her. Like, I really do, because it is a big deal. You're literally making history. You are doing monumental things. Whether I agree with him or not, like, beggars can't be choosers, and it's her life. I know she wanted to wrestle in Japan. That's always been one of her dreams. So when she left in WWE the first time, left, when she took a little hiatus, sabbatical or whatever, and went to Japan, I was very happy for her. And I'm still happy for her pockets.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. I'm happy for your pocket. Get your money. I'm never going to hate on a Black woman getting her money. She signed one of the biggest deals of all time, I've heard. I don't know. I'm not in her pocket, but I know that it's some good money for you to be like, I'm gonna go over here and not there. So I know it had to be some good money.
Yeah.
So make your money and elevate. When she starts elevating the other talent, that is my issue.
Want to see my thoughts on that? Go over to my YouTube. I did a whole, I think it's a 12-minute rant about that. Like, I don't, and I think everyone always calls me like a Mercedes Moné hater, and like, I'm not a Mercedes Moné hater. Like, y'all know how much I love Sasha. Like, that's not the thing. She's everything she says she is. I cannot deny that I'm Mercedes Moné. She is a great wrestler. She puts on great matches. When she's got a chip on her shoulder, she's even better. Cannot deny that. But like, where's elevation that you claim you had? Like, you beat these ladies clean and then you move on. Where's Rio? Where is Britt Baker? What's Willow doing? Like, you beat these ladies and then like that's it, move on to the next storyline. Like, where is elevation? Where are these things you claim you wanted to do for the system that has not happened yet? You've elevated yourself. But that's a rant that we'll have for another day. Yeah, because that'll be another 20 minutes and we don't have time for that. So moving on. That is my feud. That is my feud that I think everyone should know about. And again, my match of that feud would be again that match on Raw. When they had a no DQ, when they were out in the ring and they were fighting everywhere in the crowd. That, and obviously second will probably be the Hell in a Cell match, but that is my feud.
I agree with that feud. I think that again, legendary feud. All right, Ash, you're up.
Yes, finally. So, beforehand, before my internet cut out. So, what I was saying, I feel like this feud is a really, really good quintessential feud because it has the two major stars of this era, which is Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. Now, I know a lot of people don't really look back and talk about this feud, mainly because of how it started and because of how awful, I can't stress that enough, how awful it started.
I turned that TV off, child.
Nikki Bella was on the red carpet pissed that night. They were like, oh, is there one thing that, what was your favorite moment of tonight? She's like, actually, I don't have a favorite moment of tonight. She literally said that. She was like, when you see stuff like that with Bianca Belair losing a belt, how could you have a favorite moment? That should summarize.
Real.
That's
real.
I was so mad.
The whole SummerSlam was ruined.
Nothing hit the rest of the night.
Like, I understand that, Sasha pulled out for, whatever reason she pulled out, and, Carmella was like a placement for a second, and Becky, they could at least fought for like 10 minutes or something. I don't know. I just didn't.
At least.
Whoever decided that for Carmella did not like Carmella. Because the audible groan of the crowd when they announced that it was Carmella, and mind you, at this point, Bianca and Carmella had probably had like 7-8 matches on Raw at this point.
Been there, done that.
So to not even to then like swerve the crowd, give us Becky, and then give us a 26-second match. Listen, I understand. I understand how frustrating that was, but when Becky Lynch told that girl, "Get in the back of the line, bitch," and Bianca Belair did exactly that, and she worked her way up the division. She had that fantastic program with Piper Niven, and then around that time, around WrestleMania season, they finally came back and worlds collided. That WrestleMania match, is probably one of my favorite WrestleMania matches to date. Like I literally just got goosebumps just thinking about their entrances, how they came in. The finish of that match is so incredibly, such a beautiful, not a bookend, because they did have that rematch at SummerSlam, which I thought was also a really, really good match. Not quite as good as that Mania match, but man, the callback when she did the manhandle slam, the beginning of the match, when she did the near fall. My heart was in my ass. My heart was in my ass. Fantastic.
That match had me like this.
Listen, and then also some iconic moments when Bianca cut Becky's hair.
Oh yeah, she did. I remember that.
Yes. There's so many good moments in this feud that I feel like so many people don't really talk about anymore because of how traumatic. Traumatic it started.
I think the feud was an apology. For sure. I know Becky had talked about not wanting to do it that way. She was not a fan of that.
And seeing how Bianca was hurt from that, because Bianca worked her butt off to get to even where she was at, just for her to be buried in 26 seconds.
BKM is never seeing heaven.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah, we already knew that.
Crusty Dusty.
Choices were made. But the payoff, I will say.
Yeah. The payoff was worth it. I think the feud was
Mhm.
worth it. I think that is such a testament of the performers that both of these ladies are, but it's the professional that Becky is, because before becoming the
She fought for
man,
it.
she had to fight for it as well. She was the
Yeah.
one of the four, like you called the four horse. If you told me Becky Lynch would be the most popular of the four horsewomen, I would have called you a liar dead in your face.
Yep,
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
Mhm.
Because I'm
That's
like, I can't
facts.
even understand what he's saying. You mean to tell me her and these goggles is about to be the biggest?
King
Yeah.
why she was in backstage.
Okay,
Right,
CM Punk. CM
right,
Punk Becky.
right. Like, you mean to tell me no? And to see it now, and again, speaking to the true professionalism of her and how she really, Bianca Belair has always been a star. She's always going to look like a star because one, look at her.
Hello.
She looks like the model for action figures. They're like, we'll
Yeah.
use her as this model.
As the
Period.
mold, yeah.
Mhm.
She literally is the mold. So
Yeah.
she always looked like a star. But for Becky to really, because for that really derailed her stardom. I thought she was buried. I was cynical about it. I hated it. I was like, she's clearly buried. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this was, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
But
Yeah.
I also think it's a testament to Becky because the man character was so iconic. To come back and to see how mad the crowd was at her
Mhm.
winning the belt in that way and to pivot. Because for me, Big Time Bex, I love Big Time Bex.
Me too.
The man, I enjoy the man. I resonate with the man. But I think that there's something so beautiful about becoming what you hated and
Mhm.
having a new kid on the block coming to challenge you. Like that whole story that they did, it might have been a forgiveness storyline, but they pulled it together. They pulled it
It
together,
did.
They
baby. I
fixed
It
enjoyed
did.
it. They righted the wrong.
it.
They righted the wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel like it in the end elevated Bianca. Because when she had that Raw Women's
Mhm.
Championship, that's when it was like, this is Bianca Belair. That's when it was the face of the company on the
Yeah.
Mhm.
shirts, the SDs, the little girls, and all of that stuff. That's when she really, really like cemented herself as like a mainstay in the division. So
Mhm.
Minor setback for a
I had to
major
pick that
comeback.
feud.
It's
Exactly,
this,
exactly.
yeah. The feud kind of did swerve me a little bit too, and I think maybe this is, me and my agendas. I'm gonna try to get there no matter what. But I thought that would be like, I'm like, okay, Bianca has to turn heel, like she has to, because there's no way. Like, I
Ooh.
need you now to be like, no, I need my revenge. But I really, again, appreciate, and I think I probably like the Becky going heel better than I probably would have with Bianca. Because at first I really thought, I was like, Bianca has to turn heel because there's no way to get at like off of this. Are we just not gonna,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, touch on this.
Yeah. So I felt like Bianca has to turn heel for sure. But I'm excited. I was excited about the way that this feud went. And again, like, I have a love hate relationship with Becky. I don't love Becky until I'm like, oh yeah,
I'm a
you
big
does
time Bex fan.
this.
I'm a big time Bex fan. She's a storyteller, and I
Mhm.
respect that. I respect her ability to tell a story.
Yeah. And like I said, they ended up righting the wrong. Like, so it worked out.
Yes, 100%.
All right. So I'm gonna get on the Sasha train as well for my pick here. And I am going back to NXT. Sasha versus Bailey is my pick for this episode. This is one of my favorite feuds. I know that this feud was responsible for bringing several people I know personally back to wrestling after being able to see two women put on just a multitude of classic matches. Um my pick for people to watch is, yes, Takeover Brooklyn. That is the match that really cemented it. I think that is one of the best women's wrestling matches of all time. I do not think that they are slicing it up. I don't think they're exaggerating when they say that that is one of the best matches, period, that I have ever seen in my time as being a fan. I definitely would go with their takeover match where they main evented. Best was it Iron Women? I know it was 2 out of 3 falls.
Oh, the Iron Woman match.
The Iron Woman match, the 30-minute Iron Woman match where Sasha and Bailey both got their flowers, and that to me was some of the best wrestling TV of all time, and they came at a time when I was only watching NXT for a moment. 2011 to 2015 was kind of dark times,
It was.
dark times with the main roster. So I was definitely, and I seeing Sasha's character evolve real time and Bailey's character evolve real time. Like she was the hugger at the time. It's
Yeah.
to see those characters be created and for it to culminate in that way where you're like, I did not think that this girl with these wacky waving inflatable arm flailing two men was about to put on a 5-star classic. Please.
And then look where Izzy is at now. That's her name, right?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
She's
Yeah,
really good.
yes.
Like shockingly good. Like Sasha's work as a heel. I always say Sasha's definitely a better heel than a face. Like
Absolutely.
I don't really vibe with face Sasha. I'm a support no matter what, but I don't really vibe with face Sasha. And then to have Izzy crying and to take off the headband and
Yeah.
just the
It's just the nastiness. Like,
okay, and I'm just like, I love this. Like, this is amazing. And again, I know it's for that takeover Brooklyn match is responsible for bringing at least 3 people, KB, you included, back to wrestling. How did you feel about that match?
When I started back watching wrestling, I did binge and I watched like the 4 Horsewomen. I enjoyed it. I see why they were caught up to change the. I know Bailey stayed back at the time when they called Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha up, but I see why like so many people are into NXT because they was giving these women a chance that the main roster was not having. So, but I really did enjoy that match for sure. I think was that the first ever Iron Woman match too for women?
Well, that was that Respect that they were on?
yeah, I think so.
That was after. That was after Brooklyn.
Okay, so that was the Iron Woman. This was I'm getting the matches mixed up, but I did see both.
Yeah, Takeover Brooklyn was when Bailey won it for the first time.
And then the Iron Woman is when Sasha was trying to come back from the main roster and get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember.
Yep, she was on Team Bad at the time.
Trying to get her belt back. I remember, I remember both of them.
Gotcha.
I was not a Bailey fan at first, honestly. Because I couldn't get into the hugger character, but when she turned heel and all that. Dong, hello.
And it was the opposite for me. I love the hugger character. I love Bailey. But I love comedy acts in wrestling. And I know Bailey wasn't really a comedy act, but I love those.
It was still cute and fun. Yeah.
Right. Those cute, fun I love that. So for me, it was like, oh, I don't think she's gonna get very far, but love it. Like, she'll probably get the Emma treatment on the main roster. Sorry, y'all. I was like, she probably get the Emma treatment, but she's one of those wrestlers that's really good, but because of her actual gimmick, she's probably not gonna go far. And I was 100% wrong. And then when she turned heel, I hated it. I was like, I don't know. No, this is not it. Ew. Ugh. How could they? They're ruining her. Now I can't imagine her going back. I can't imagine her putting them pigtails in her hair again, ever. I can't.
She's a whole locker room leader now.
Exactly. I just can't. I can't see it. And to see, like, this might as well have been the 4 Horsewomen show because listen, we gotta get.
Well, I mean,
when you're a pioneer, you're a pioneer. We can't help
you're doing it big. Like when you're that girl.
Like when you're that girl, it's just hard to top. But yes, Bailey, and then to see again, I know it led to some turmoil, but for Bailey and Sasha to become the inaugural women's tag team champs after all of this, it's like that feud really did change the landscape at a time when it was already changing, because we had the Paige Emma match for the inaugural NXT women's title, and that kind of changed the landscape as well, and they kind of built upon that and the NXT women, just all of them, Summer Rae, like it's they just expounded upon that, and I just think it's a true testament to how NXT really did build the wrestling that we know today and these stars that we know today, because I wouldn't have given Bailey a second look, and now look at her.
Yeah. I feel like what like separated the four horsewomen was like you can watch those matches, like the first fatal four way, the first time like Sasha and Charlotte had a match. They were hungry. Like rent was due every time they stepped into the mat. Like you could tell they loved this and they wanted everybody to feel how much they loved it. Like you can feel that energy every single time that they wrestled in those NXT matches.
They were literally hungry. I think they were only making like $400 a week at the time. They were literally hungry. Like
rent was due.
It was like, listen, I'm trying to get this raise. Rent was literally due. It was like 7 of them in one apartment. They was.
To be fair, the NXT girls did all try to live together. That is fair.
Yeah.
Listen, like, I'm trying to get a 1-bedroom out of here. Like, get out.
I got dreams.
Yeah, that is my pick. What do you guys like about that feud? Too? Yeah. What was your guys' favorite moment for that feud?
I like the fact that they go back and forth. I like the fact that like they're friends, they're not friends, they hate each other, they're friends. Like, they always come back somehow. But even then, like, it's always still a callback mini to like when they didn't get along, when they did get along. You know what I mean? Like, I like it. It's everyone thought that last time that Sasha was going to turn on Bailey and Bailey was going to turn on Sasha. Little things like that. Like, I like the fact that they kind of, it all comes back to the love hate relationship, but it comes back in a different angle, a different way. So, like, again, we all thought Sasha was going to turn on Bailey at last time.
Same.
And Bailey was the one
yeah.
like, nope.
They even had to go to therapy,
Yes.
I'll never forget Nia and Shayna's reaction. Nia and Shayna's reaction when she was beating her ass. They were like, oh my God.
That was my reaction. I was like, no. Because I hated it. I was like, I don't know how they're going to make this work. This is stupid. Now it's like, oh, well, let me just eat my words and my hat now. This crow tastes good. Like, let me just... Crow's not that bad.
One of my favorite matches, that Hell in a Cell match between her and Bailey. So good.
And she finally won because she didn't win against Sasha. I mean, she didn't win against Charlotte or Becky.
Yeah, the big one. Yeah, she never was able to like get the big one.
Yeah, that was my pick for feud. I do want to do an honorable mention because we got to get out of here in a little bit, but I do want to do an honorable mention to Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. That's my honorable mention. Do you guys have any honorable mentions?
I do. I have actually Liv and Becky. I feel like with that feud, Becky helped Liv elevate. Like, even though she didn't win a title, it put more eyes on Liv.
100%. Ash, you have any honorable mentions?
I would probably mention Sasha versus Bianca, WrestleMania 38.
That led to the first ever 2 Black women main eventing WrestleMania for the first time ever, which is one of my favorite moments in professional wrestling. A lot of my favorite moments in both. That's the theme of the show. Sharice's favorite moments in professional wrestling. Hey, Gabby, what about you? You have any honorable mentions before we get out of here?
I have to head on over to Ring of Honor and say Athena and Billy starts.
Yes.
Really good.
They kind of drug out for a few years, but every time it's still kind of fresh. Hopefully we're coming towards the end of it. Fingers crossed that Athena can drop this belt to Billy Starks. I wouldn't be mad. I thought she was going to do it last time and she didn't. They ended up like turning out Lexi. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it gets different. They have different endings each time. Like, that's a very good feud. And I think that it's a feud where the OG took the young buck underneath their wings. And honestly, Billy Shark was good before she entered this feud with Athena. And like she gets better every single time. Like Athena is truly like working that girl. And like Billy's gotten so much better since she first started. Like I cannot wait for that to finally kind of come to the end where hopefully Billy gets her. But I have to say that. We're rooting around for that.
Yeah. That first match they had is a classic.
I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah, fantastic match.
I knew about Athena a little bit on the indies, but not too much before she signed on Ember Moon. Okay, another honorable mention: Ember Moon versus Asuka. Check that out. Check that feud out as well.
Yes.
But then when she went back, I was like, she really made a fan out of me when she was Ember Moon, and then when she went back, I was like, well, guess I'm watching Ring of Honor now, and I've been thoroughly impressed with everything that she's done, and it's just kind of like it's so effortless for her. So, yeah. So that is our show for this week, you guys. I hope you guys take some time and look at our suggestions. If you guys have any additional,
check out our YouTube.
That as well, Lip Gloss and Ladder.
Check out our playlist.
Check out those playlists that will be linked below. And again, if you guys have any feuds that you think we should have mentioned or that you want to include in there, just let us know in the comments, either on Instagram, TikTok, come back TikTok, or YouTube.
They need to figure out something.
I know. TikTok gone. Gone.
Days are numbered.
I know.
It's so hard to... Sorry, all right.
Girl.
KB, where can they find you, girl?
You can find me everywhere at Meticulous Key.
Gabby.
You guys can find me at Hi Gabrielle everywhere.
Especially on YouTube. Please check out the YouTube channel. It will also be linked down below.
Yes.
And Ash, where can they find you?
So you can find me at Benny'sBlock_ on Instagram.
And you can find me at Genius Ree on Instagram, Genius Reese on TikTok for at least another week.
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Right.
20 minutes. Do you have 30 minutes? Do you know you have 30 minutes?
30 minutes?
You better start dancing, pushing that, yeah.
30, yes.
Let me go ahead and practice my renegade real quick so I can.
One last time. Let me hit that one last time.
And also more recently, you can find me at Reese Plays Games X on Twitch and Instagram. Streams coming soon. Very soon.
Exciting.
And by soon, I mean like this week. So keep an eye out.
Yes, let's
and
get it.
You can find the collective at Lip Gloss in the letter N Ladders on Instagram and on TikTok, and Lip Gloss Ladders on X. And it's over here. Our names are on this side. Look at me. I remember. All right, guys. So thank you again for joining us. Also, Ravens Nation, Ravens Flock,
MB3. One pride. Let's go. One pride.
All right, don't forget.
On that.
And on that note,
one pride.
Don't forget
One pride.
down
And FC
the
Chess
ladder
one
and
pride.
pick up.
Okay.
Don't forget to put down that ladder and pick up that lip gloss. No, pick up.
I hate it here.
Because you're pride.
I was like, that's my sister, so I'm a ride.
We gonna ride. We gonna ride with that one.
Put down lip gloss and pick up the ladder. Bye, all.
Jesus Christ. Bye.
Pride.